Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in this crazy world we're living in. Now then, I've got a very busy day today. Those of you who know about me know that I'm a Spanish teacher in my other life. I've got a very busy day today. I've had classes this morning. I've had to go do a lot of driving here and there. Anyway, and I've got more classes very soon. So this really will be very quick. But I just got back and saw on the news that Axel Rudakubana, remember I let you know last week, that Axel Rudakubana, the very young person that was starting trial today for the murder of these three girls, Elsie, Alice, and Bibi. Sorry, this is Elsie on the left-hand side. That's Bibi in the middle, and that is Alice on the right-hand side. And the man he is a man now because he's become 18 while he's been in custody. He was 17 when he committed these, I think we can say, we don't have to say allegedly anymore because he has pled guilty. In a surprise, because this trial was supposed to last a couple of weeks. There was a lot of fuss about it. The judge was saying that they did, it had to be reported responsibly and nothing should be said that might ruin this man's chance to a fair trial, etc. I did do a video about that a couple of days ago, just before the weekend. Anyway, in a surprise move, if you like, but a welcome move, I think. A welcome move, and I think he's doing the right thing. Why he's decided to change his plea, because he had originally registered a plea of not guilty. So this is Axel Rudakubana. That I'm not going to put his picture up, I've decided. We'll just look at the picture of the three girls that he killed. Well, of course, he attempted to murder many other children and adults, including a teacher and someone who went there to try and help. So he's pled guilty. So literally just got back from being taxi service. And, first thing I always do when I sit down at the computer is look at Sky News or any news, see what's occurring, especially when there's something going on like this trial. And then, he's pled guilty and he will be sentenced on Thursday. And the judge has said to him, you realise that this means you are looking at a life sentence. The fact you've pled guilty, so guilty means a life sentence. Now, whether this is what his lawyer has advised him to do, because really, to be honest, the evidence was overwhelming against this man. There was CCTV, there's photos, I know there's video, etc. I've seen some of the video. It's very upsetting, as you can imagine. So at least he's spared the family the thought of maybe sitting in court and watching all that video. I'm not saying that's why he's pled guilty. Probably hasn't pled guilty because for any, good thoughts towards the family, etc. It's probably for some sort of personal reason. He'll still get a life sentence. Will it mean that he'll get less of a sentence because he's pled guilty? He's a young man. He's only 18 now. So even if he got 40 years, he'd still be young enough at 58 to come out and have a life. But I can't see that he's going to get 40 years. He should get 40 years. In fact, he should really get a whole life tariff. He's killed 3 children, and it's only by the grace of God, really, and the speedy sort of help of auxiliary services and people that were there at the spot that nobody else died. So we may be looking at a whole life tariff, but the judge has already said you do realise by changing your plea to guilty, you are looking at a life sentence. But we know in Britain that life does not mean life. And for a young man like this, 20 years really, he'd be coming out before he was even 40. So let's just have a look at the article. I'll just say hello to anyone who's here. Hi, David. Hi, Heather. Hi, JBT. Hi, Dottie. Where did you see the photo, Dottie? I haven't seen the photo. Anyway, I'm going to have a look now while we're looking. So let's go on to, I mean, I think it was probably quite a surprise that he's pled guilty, isn't it? So here's the three girls. Unfortunately, you know, their lives cut short by this monster. Of course, he won Twonk of the Year in, you know, at the end of the year, in the New Year's Live that are doing. I awarded him the Twonk of the Year because I think, you know, obviously on a true crime channel, we deal with a lot of horrible things. But this man, or boy, whatever you want to call him, just awful, this, isn't it? Because also you can't see a reason for it. Oh, well, the police are still saying that it's not terrorist related, even though he's pled guilty to having the terrorist manual and the RECIN or whatever it's called. Anyway, let me read you the article. A teenager has admitted murdering 3 young girls in a knife attack at a Taylor Swift themed dance class in Southport in July last year. Of course, it led to all those riots, etc. So Axel, 18, from Lancashire, appeared at Liverpool Crown Court on what was due to be the first day of his trial on Monday. He refused to stand or confirm his name, but then he pleaded guilty to the murders of Alice Da Silva Aguiar, 9, BB King, 6, and Elsie Stankham, 7. He also admitted 10 counts of attempted murder and possession of a kitchen knife over the attack in the Merseyside town on the 29th of July. 8 other children, aged between 7 and 13, were injured in the mass stabbing at the Heart Space, along with yoga instructor Leanne Lucas and businessman John Hayes. Rudakubana was 17 years old at the time of the attack, which has not been declared terror-related. Oh, come on. He further pleaded guilty to charges of producing RECIN and possessing an Al-Qaeda training manual. Allegedly found, well, they're not allegedly now because he's pled guilty to it, in searches of his home in Banks, Lancashire in the following days. Now, I haven't got time to play this video. This is one of the people who tried to help. He locked the eyes with the knife man, but to be honest, this man, he did, anyway, I don't want to talk about it. I haven't got time to talk about it. I've got a class very shortly. So the judge, Mr. Justice Goose, said he would sentence the teenager on Thursday, telling him, "You will understand it's inevitable. The sentence to be imposed on you will mean a life sentence." So he had previously entered not guilty pleas and also refused to speak in court. So to be fair, he didn't speak the last time. He refused to speak, so the judge entered not guilty pleas on his behalf. So in this court appearance, he has spoken to say guilty, but he would not stand to acknowledge his name, etc. So he remains seated in the dock. Oh, big man, seating in the dock because he's standing up to the establishment, isn't he? Oh, what a big man. Oh, yeah, you tell me to stand up. I'm not standing up. I'm sitting down. I'm a big man. I can murder children. And he changed his pleas to guilty. None of his victims' family members were in court as the trial had been expected to open on Tuesday. Wearing a grey tracksuit and a surgical face mask, he showed no emotion. Now, when I look at this man, even when he was a child, when you look at the pictures that have been released of him before, there's something dead in this boy's eyes. I don't know. There's something, it's like, to me, if you ever saw anyone who was possessed by the devil, it's this guy. It's horrible. You know, it just looks, his eyes look dead inside. Now, what the reason for that is there a reason? Was he just born evil? Some people are, I think. Or as you know, is it mental health that's ground him down? I don't know, but I know there's nothing in this guy's eyes, nothing. So he showed no emotion as he was taken down to the cells, surrounded by 4 dock officers and an intermediary. I expect he'll end up in a mental institution for the rest of his sentence. And of course, that Southport attack sparked a wave of violence across the country as riots broke out after posts spread online that claimed he was a 17-year-old asylum seeker who had just come to the country by boat. Now, they were not true. All those rumours that circulated, they were not true. But what the police then did not want to tell anybody was that he had, this terrorist manual in the house and this writing. Anyway, after the guilty plea today, the Deputy Chief Crown Prosecutor Ursula Doyle said, "This was an unspeakable attack, one that has left an enduring mark on our community." So don't forget, these poor girls, they were going to a Taylor Swift dance workshop. It was the first day of the school holidays. And apparently this guy, he did have a sickening and sustained interest in death and violence. He has shown no sign of remorse. There were concerns over his violent behaviour in school. But his parents were described as a lovely couple, a hard-working father and a stay-at-home mother to 2 boisterous boys. 2013, they moved to Banks, just outside Southport, where his father, Alphonse Rudakubana, trained with local martial arts clubs. And a profile of Mr. Rudakubana printed in a local newspaper, the Southport Visitor, in 2015 said he was originally from Rwanda. And of course, Rwanda was a country that suffered a horrible civil war in the early 1990s. And there was genocide did take place there. I mean, Rwanda has a violent history. That's why there was a big outcry about immigrants being sent to Rwanda. So yeah, there's something missing in this boy's eyes, even there when he was younger. And he played Doctor Who, didn't he, in an advert for BBC Children in Need, recruited through a casting agency. I have that clip somewhere, but although the neighbours described the family as unremarkable, it can now be reported that teachers had concerns after he showed violent behaviour in high school. Now, I haven't got time to go into this now too much, I'm afraid. I will do more on this. Maybe tonight. I've just got so much going. I'm back at work like normally now, doing classes. So, my time is a little more limited. But of course, it's important. I want to follow this case through to the end of it. But of course, we'll get the verdict on... we'll get the verdict. We'll get the sentence. Oh, there he is. Dear me. Yeah. That's his mugshot. That is, like we always say, it's all in the eyes. That's pretty scary, isn't it? Those poor girls. I haven't. Hang on. I wasn't sharing. So there you go. It's all in the eyes. There you go. You should be able to see it now. So something lacking there, isn't it? Maybe he's been locked in his bedroom smoking weed for God knows how long. Did COVID affect him? I mean, it always fascinates me how people change from being, you know, he was a young boy once. Where did he develop this horrible interest in, you know, death, etc. But, you know, even in his earlier pictures, there was just something about this guy's eyes. But yeah, you're right. You know, you can always see it in retrospect. Anyway, you can't arrest someone just because they've got an evil look about them anyway, can you? Unfortunately, they have to do something first before you can arrest them. You can't just arrest them because you think they've got weird eyes or whatever. So, you know, it's not helpful in a way. But maybe as time goes on in prison, maybe he can get some help. I don't know. I do feel for his family as well, because at the end of the day, finding out that your son or daughter or whatever had done something like this just must be awful for them as well. So, you know, it's horrible. It's really horrible. Anyway, I just wanted to update you. He's pled guilty. So the good news is good news, I think. He's pled guilty. That it's not going to be a long, protracted trial. The family aren't going to be subjected to God knows what. Now that we just wait and hope that the judge puts a proper sentence out there. He's going to take into account the fact he was only 17 when he did it, even though he was 18 just a couple of weeks later, wasn't he? He's going to take into account probably the fact that he has pled guilty. But, you know, we'll see. But anyway, I've got to go because I've got class. I've got to go and teach some Spanish. But I'll be back at some point with more info, because more things will come out now. There'll probably be a press conference. The parents might even speak, or that might be after the sentencing. So don't forget, the sentence is not till Thursday. That might be when we get the full story, if you like. If there is a reason. The thing is, we always want to know the reasons. But it's not terror related, don't forget. It's not terror related. Oh, yeah, he had an Al Qaeda handbook that he's admitted to. Oh, yeah, he had bomb making equipment, but it's not terror related, don't forget, according to the police. God, crazy. Anyway, please don't forget to subscribe if you want updates on this developing story and any other story that we're covering. Subscribe, press the notification bell. Okay, sorry it's a quick one, but I'll see you soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.